at some place. Is it this year or next year?
Drew Eubanks drops it in. I stand corrected. He wasn't the first 4 years of his life. He lived in Australia from when he was 5 to 8.
I know UCLA is going this summer. Probably why there's no UCLA players on this Pac-12 All-Star team.
And no Oregon players either on this trip. And Dorian Pickens of Stanford is on this trip. He'll get to go back over the pond, over the Pacific, to China as part of the Pac-12 China game when Stanford plays Harvard. Is Jordan McLaughlin with the bucket. It's a 5-point game.
Yeah, let's see if that gets him going. I feel like Pac-12 stabilized this game a little bit because they're not giving up extra possessions on the offensive board late in that first quarter. They have to continue to rebound their defensive board.
Aussie's only shot 30% in the first quarter.
5 offensive rebounds, though, gave them extra chances.
Aron Baynes with 2 on the shot clock from the wing.
The difference for Baynes tonight is he was dominating at the rim on Tuesday night. Tonight, more pick and pop, more out on the perimeter. Good for the Pac-12 team.
You and I talked about this, Don, in game 1 with Aron Baynes. He was a nice player at Washington State, did some good things, part of some good teams up there. But you and I are in agreement. We didn't see this coming and give him all the credit in the world for working his tail off. Similar
to what I said about Dellavedova earlier. The guy had to go overseas and play. He gets a chance with the San Antonio Spurs. And all of a sudden, a couple years later, he's getting a big contract from the Detroit Pistons and looks like a guy that will probably be in the NBA for 12, 14 years. Who knows? And some of these players on current rosters, Mills, you alluded to Joe Ingles with the Jazz, Dellavedova now with the Bucks. Cameron Bairstow played well in game 1 with the Bulls. Aron Baynes now with the Pistons. This is a strong group as Chance Comanche clears to the Pac-12 down 7. And you mentioned the other night, Dante Exum not on that list. He plays for the Utah Jazz coming back from injury. And then the #1 overall pick from Australia, Ben Simmons.
Plus Andrew Bogut is out as Matisse Thybulle with the pull-up.
Game's starting to open up a little bit for the Pac-12 offensively.
Is that good for the Pac-12, a more free-flowing game?
Well, I think a free-flowing game, but I think the Australian defense is come down a notch, I guess, from the opening tip. But it's a great job by the Pac-12 staying with it. You know, they got down early. They didn't hang their heads. They continued to compete. And now they're right back in it.
Foul of Matisse Thybulle of the Pac-12 as Joe Ingles drives the key. Patty Mills comes back. Ingles 0 of 2 at the line. Boomers who led by as many as 12 in the first quarter. They've already shot 10 free throws.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. They're calling it tight tonight. We'll see if that continues. But Thybulle's got to keep Ingles in front.
Third Olympics coming up for Joe Ingles.
Well, you got to get up on Ingles because he can shoot. And maybe that's why he got around him. But you got to find a way to not only contest but keep him in front so that he doesn't get to the rim or get to the foul line.
So this Boomer squad, the Australian senior national team, has the dubious distinction of the most Olympic appearances without medaling. Now the odds
that is dubious
aren't in their favor to medal this time around, but it wouldn't shock me
neither
if they came away with a bronze from Rio.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. I don't think they can win it, and I don't think they're going to medal either, but I wouldn't be completely shocked. And they're going to beat some teams that maybe they're not favored to beat.
Chris Goulding hits a 3.
Well, they need to have good balance. You know, not having Bogut hurts defensively, but offensively, I think they have enough firepower if they're spreading it around to be a good offensive team against the good Olympic teams.
Drew Eubanks tries to keep it alive. The hustle from Jordan McLaughlin, and down the lane, Matisse Thybulle off balance, and it's cleared by the Boomers.
Would have been a great play had that been completed, but I like the fact that they're getting to the 50-50 balls.
That's a travel on Brock Modem. Not only was he trying to play basketball, it looked like he's trying to go for the track and field team with a triple jump right there.
You can't double Euro step in Australia. Wrong side of the ocean.
10-point game. Inside 6:45 to go in this first half.
There is no such thing as a double Euro step. It's either one or none.
Dorian Pickens off balance with that shot. The Boomers push. Good job at transition defense. Brock Modem keeps it alive.
It's a great point, Roxy. That is better tonight. There was a bunch of stuff in transition, and there even was early tonight But they've shored that up a little bit here late in the first, early second.
Here comes Matisse Thybulle. Open is Stevie Thompson Jr. And the rebound falls to Joe Ingles. Leaking out. Patty Mills cherry picks for the lane.
See, that's just experienced professional basketball. Deep three, run out by Mills, throw ahead. Nobody back for the Pac-12.
And the Boomers have matched their largest lead with inside 6 minutes to go, second quarter. The floater rattles out from McLaughlin. Baynes clears for the Aussies.
Now the Pac-12 getting decent looks, just not going down here the last 3-4 possessions.
And Patty Mills draws the foul on Jordan McLaughlin.
See, Ingles knows that Mills is going to do the old Dominique Wilkins, who perfected that. Contest the perimeter shot and just keep on running. You see the foul there.
5:44 to go, second quarter. 12-point game, and Pac-12 All-Stars coach Mike Montgomery talked about what needs to improve for this Pac-12 All-Star team.
Well, yeah, there's only about 950 things that, I mean, everybody comes from a different environment. Everybody's been coached to play defense differently. Everybody has a little different, the way that you have to play it, and we're trying to play help side defense. We're trying to get off and toward the ball. You know, Baynes really hurt us. He posted us deep. We got caught behind, and he's too big. I mean, he's got great touch, and he's a big man. He's probably 270. And he's been the pro for 7 years, so he knows how to use his big body. And we just got buried down inside. We can't let the ball go in that easily. We've got to get some deflections, and we've got to get some backside help. They were shocked at how fast Patty Mills was, for example. When he runs to get a shot, he sprints, and he's very, very fast, and he gets the shot off quickly.
That's our colleague Mike Montgomery, who's coaching this all-star team, and he brings up some excellent points. And it's so hard for him, Don, because only with this team for about a week and a half, and it's really difficult to put things in and just kind of mesh these guys together in that short amount of time.
Well, we talked about that the other night. That's why it's so important for this team to play fast, and you can't play fast if you're taking it out of the net. And it was obvious the other night what the problems were. Defensive breakdowns, as he mentioned, the defensive board, which he mentioned. I mean, it's all pretty simple stuff, but you're right. It's hard to correct in one day when you have a group of guys that have been together for less than a week.
I mean, you got guys on the other side. Those Aussies, they've been playing together for years. And they've played for longer, which means they have more experience, which, you know, whether or not they have a bunch of play sets installed either, they just having played with each other so much, the familiarity of that leads to better basketball. Mills rattles out a three, and the rebound tracked down by Brock Moda. Last foul, by the way, on Drew Eubanks, not Jordan McLaughlin, the second on Eubanks. Matthew Dellavedova, pass deflected and stolen. Here comes Stevie Thompson Jr.
Job by Pickens getting a hand up.
A little out of control. It's Cameron Bairstow, the outlet stolen, taken right back by Dorian Pickens.
Another good job by Pickens. Deflection on one possession, recovery on the next to intercept the pass.
Matisse Thybulle turns it over. Delly. Here's Patty Mills open.
Too much time.
Jordan McLaughlin.
Too much time for Mills. He's used to having somebody up and in his shirt. When he gets that wide open, tendency is to miss it because you take too long, you're not in rhythm. Talk about that a lot with the guys I work with. It doesn't matter if you're 10 feet open or 1 foot open, same rhythm on every shot. Don't stop and look at it.
Mills to the basket. And in transition, and Mills leads the Boomers with 9. Lorenzo Bonham leading the Pac-12 squad with 6. The largest lead.
Pac-12 had 48 at halftime the other night. Well below that, 4 minutes to go or so. They have 21 right now.
Nice take by Stevie Thompson Jr.
I think you give credit to Australia for their defense. They seem to be a little sharper tonight, but a lot of missed shots for the Pac-12 as well.
And stepping on the end line. Wave it off. Patty Mills was out of bounds.
Another run out for Mills. Whoever's guarding him has to know where he's at all times. Too easy for him to run out. Maybe whoever it is, McLaughlin or whoever's on the court as the point guard, maybe just stay back once you initiate the offense.
Inside, and Matisse Seibel with the dunk.
Miscommunication for Australia. Seibel wide open. Don't see that a lot. A direct entry from the top of the key, deep in the paint.
Patty Mills attacks and uses the window.
Jordan McLaughlin saying, where is the help? Where's Metu when I need him?
Where's Benny Boatwright? Stepping out, Dorian Pickens. Jordan McLaughlin from deep. And the rebound controlled by Joe Ingles.
A lot of threes short tonight for the Pac-12, Roxy. You wonder if maybe the travel's caught up to him.
And a turnover as Brock Modem throws it away, looking for Cameron Bairstow.
Just seems like a lot of these threes, and I know it's an extra foot and a half, but they shot it well the other night. 11 for 23. We didn't really mention that on Tuesday night, how this travel can impact them. Australia obviously not traveling. The Pac-12 team with a long trip over there.
And right now it's 8:09 p.m. Melbourne time. Yeah. But it's 3:10, well now 3:10 a.m. Pacific time.
Right. All those things factor in. Not using them as excuses, obviously, but could be factors.
Trey Holder.
There you go.
Rattles in a three.
That one wasn't short. And again, I like the fact that the Pac-12 team keeps answering.
First points for Holder, and he trims it to a 9-point deficit. The Boomers have led from the outset. The Pac-12 trying to push back. Part of the Pac-12 Global Initiative and this All-Star Tour of Australia. Speaking of Australia, the college football season opens in Sydney. Coming up August 26th, the Cal Bears, Sonny Dykes, brings his team with the new quarterback Davis Webb as the Golden Bears head to Hawaii to take on, or head to Sydney to take on Hawaii. When also the Pac-12 China game last year, a huge success. Washington beat Texas. This year in Shanghai at Mercedes-Benz Arena at Stanford and Harvard. And more on the initiative coming up at the half.
Football is upon us.
It is.
Pac-12 Media Day this week.
Pac-12
Media Days.
Day is going on later today and Friday in Los Angeles, or in Hollywood technically. And Media Days right here on Pac-12 Network with Mike Yam and company. See if the Pac-12 can make a push here to put a scare into the Aussies heading into the second half with Drew Eubanks the rebound.
Well, I mentioned before break, they keep answering, meaning that Australia is not pushing the lead out. They get it to double digits, and then the Pac-12 makes a little run and gets it back under 10. See if they can make a push the last 2 minutes here.
Drew Eubanks steps out. And the rebound falls to Aron Baynes.
Another shot short for the Pac-12.
Mills finds Baynes. And he gets it in off the window with the left hand.
See, that's the difference between a pro player and a college player. In that instance, Baynes catches, gets on balance, goes up strong. A lot of college players would miss that because they just try and catch and finish quickly, and they end up missing it or it gets blocked.
Trey Holder misses the open three.
Baynes can tell well-schooled in catching and finishing.
Joe Ingles sets up a three.
So much for the Pac-12 making a run here the last 2 minutes. It's Australia now opened up a 14-point lead.
And it matches their largest, approaching the final minute of this opening half. Shot clock at 7. Here's Trey Holder. Penetrates. Wesley Gordon from outside.
Gets that jumper to go. I feel like the Pac-12 getting a little stagnant. Not a lot of sets, so you got to be active. Go out and ball screen, dribble handoff, do something, because Australia has got the paint packed.
It belongs to the Pac-12. 35 seconds to go in the half. Again, playing with a 24-second shot clock in these exhibition games, which Mike Montgomery's used to from his NBA days coaching the Warriors in between his stints at Cal and Stanford.
I think eventually the NCAA will get it down to a 24-second clock. Went from 35 to 30. I think before long it'll be down to 24, just like the NBA.
Foul on Damian Martin of the Aussies.
That's his first personal foul.
See if the Pac-12 can get it to single digits. That would give them a lift going into the locker room.
I feel like they need a spark heading into halftime.
Kadeem Allen. Drew Eubanks. Better get a shot up quick.
Nope.
And too much time. And now with 9 seconds left in the half, it belongs to the
It
Aussies.
looked like in that possession the Pac-12 team was aware of the game clock and not the shot clock. Eubanks on the fadeaway can't get it off in time.
Also on the court for the All-Stars, number 25, Chance Comanche.
Chance Comanche comes back in as Eubanks, Mike Montgomery not wanting him to get his third foul before halftime. Matthew Dellavedova jogs it up. Cameron Bairstow down the lane. And that'll take us to halftime, and the Aussies leading by as many as 14, Don, and it's a 12-point game. Patty Mills leads the Aussies with 11. 6 for Lorenzo Bonham to pace the Pac-12.